How we doing, hoes? How we doing, yeah. Previously on Kimba TV. You have two trades. You have this. And you've got this. So you have like a scalp long and you're short up there. It's a beautiful day in Lithuania, y'all. How we doing? El Petty says, good morning. Where do you live? I live in the US, but Lithuania. You know what I'm saying? Ace says, I got the giveaway funds. Congratulations. Good shit. I think it went out around like 10 p.m. last night. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing? All right, so first things first, is everybody caught up on yesterday's YouTube highlights? Everybody knows what the plan is? Everybody knows all this shit? Hands up if you're already in a short. Hands up if you still have a long. Hey, look at this. We opened daily outside of value, turned value area low into support, full rotation to value area high. Easy. Yup, yeah. You thought I was English? No, mate. I'm a Yankee, mate. You see where it says 8:15? That's my local time. Hey, Blaze says the full rotation was fast as fuck. It can be. Yeah. How many of y'all are starting to understand the whole concept of like full rotation? It's really just value. You know, it doesn't matter if it's the previous day value area low rotating all the way to previous day value area high. It doesn't matter if it's previous week value area low rotating to previous week value area high. Y'all remember when I did the full rotation on the previous month? Remember that shit? Kextasy says, if we fall below 57.6 previous day high, retest previous day high resistance, it means full day rotation to down, right? Nope. No. Kextasy, stop the music. So make sure that you study this, okay? But it's all about imbalance and correcting the imbalance. So if this is the value area high, and if this is, and this is in the highlights, by the way, from maybe like 3 weeks ago, okay, you typically want to long this and you want to short this. Okay? The ones that don't work is when it retests to break out of the range. Then it's going to go to the next value. Alrighty, and then the full rotation, Kextasy, is if the daily opens outside. So if the daily opens out below value area low, if it reclaims it, it's going to rotate to the other side. If the daily opens outside of value area high and it goes back in and it reclaims it, then it's going to rotate to the other side. That's it. Okay? So the daily opened outside of the previous day value area low. Look, it came back in and it bullishly retested it. It turned it into support. And it ran all the way to what? The previous day value area high. That's the full rotation. All right. And this is a hybridized method of previous day, so time and the value. Okay. But theoretically, Kextasy, you could do this. It doesn't have to be the previous day value area high. It could be previous week value area high. It could be previous month value area high. So if the monthly opens outside of previous month value area low and it reclaims it, it's got a strong chance to get to the other side. Okay, but it's really just value. Okay, it just so happens the daily is outside of range, and so when it reclaims, then it goes to the other side. All right, Kextasy. So that daily open is just signifying how you are outside of value. You reclaim value, it goes to the other side. But theoretically, you could have price action here. It doesn't have to be the daily open. If it goes back into value, it's going to reclaim it. Okay, that's why we do things like fixed range volume profile. Alrighty. And so that's kind of the reason why we talk about stuff like this. This is your value. Okay, do you see why the easiest long Kextasy is it goes back inside, it turns it into support. This is the long I want. Okay, with this long and this long, the price action was different. Okay, this is weak, this was good, this was good. Okay, this deviated way too far away. That's why everybody was with me when we took that long and we took that long. This one deviated way too far from value. For me, this is bearish. Kextasy. So the only long that I can really take, unless I wanted to like catch the knife right here. Okay, and by the way, that's a poor and a weak low. So that, I don't know if I would ever, even if I got in a time machine, I went back in time 100 times, I don't think I'm ever taking that long. So the easiest long for me is it comes back inside, it does a bullish retest, it turns this level into support, then we have a good chance of not only going to value area high, but doing something like this and deviating outside. When it deviates, that's when you want to think about shorting. Okay? What you don't want to short is if it turns value area high into support. Because remember what we just drew? If this is value area high, value area low, theoretically, you want to short the deviation, you want to long the deviation, unless it breaks out and starts to turn that into support. Then you're going to try to go to the next value. All right, Kextasy. So for me, this long, okay, is statistically much safer and much easier than this. All right, and this is still juice. It's like $11,000, $12,000. So that's the way that I like to think. That's the way that I like to trade. That way, I really only have to invest maybe 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour max of TA a day. I don't have to stare at this shit all day. I can't stare at this shit all day. You didn't have this line like I did. Okay, by the way, this line has been here for I don't know how long, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. But let's say that you didn't have this line, so you can't get like a pixel perfect entry like me. Well, what did we just do? You don't have to be the first person to walk down the zombie infested hallway, right? If it really is a swing fail pattern, it should never lose the golden pocket.
Let's get it. Kimber was popping.
So some people, maybe they caught the knife right there. Congratulations. Some people, they waited for the reaction. The top is now in. And so what they did is they went Kimba box. They got about half of it filled and their stop loss is right there. Once this makes a lower low, their stop loss is going to go to break even. You can't lose. So it's all about just math. Lots of different ways that you can play, okay? And then what is this starting to look like? What is that starting to look like? What is it starting to look like? It looks like it's starting to fail auction on value area high. Oh shit. Is this shit making sense? So you're failing at the value area high, which means there's a good chance that it's going to lose the value area high. This is kind of why I was saying I wouldn't short anything until it breaches 58 yesterday. You guys remember when I said I'm only going to short if it breaches 58? This is exactly what I'm talking about. So you see what I mean by like every day is an opportunity to put together what you have learned and to execute, whether it's if it's really a swing fail pattern, it can't lose golden pocket. That's your invalidation. What about, hey, don't be the first dickhead to walk through the zombie infested hallway. Hey, what about having good risk management? At least even if you were wrong, you're risking $200 per coin. It's not going to get really any cheaper than that on a crypto trade. So let's do it. Pretty simple long yesterday for the full rotation play. I don't want to say pretty easy short, but how long has this level been marked, chat? Alrighty, y'all Gucci. Y'all better be Gucci, man. Game, you good? Any questions? So lots of different things to play, ladies and gentlemen. And there's always another trade. Shadow Dancer says CME cleaned the single prints too. They did. How many of y'all remember when I was telling you guys that CME still has single prints right here and right here, all in the highlights, all in the VOD. Let's go. CME single prints are all cleaned up. The Mathematica is schwiggity schwaggity, y'all. Y'all better not be playing with me. We Gucci. I told y'all that I didn't want to short anything until we broke 58. We talked about the CME single print. Levels are identified, right? If it really is a swing fail pattern, it shouldn't lose what? So you have 2 minutes, 1 minute and 15 seconds, bears. If you are in a short, what do you want to start to see? You need to start to see candle closes, volume candle closes below value area high. You want not only just time below the value area high, but you actually want motherfuckers to sell and buy and generally interact at prices below the value area high. Alrighty. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's the same shit every single time. How many people are already in shorts right now? Stop loss and profit. How many people took the long on the full rotation and they're still in it? So what do you guys think about next? Are you guys popping bottles and making table reservations at your favorite club, or what are we doing? I hope everybody is thinking of worst case scenario. I hope y'all are thinking about worst case scenario. What are you going to do, shorters, if you get stopped? If this keeps pumping, what if Bugama's open and it's positive? So let's say that you get stopped out on the short. What's your next level of interest? Longs, if this nukes all the way down to 55, or excuse me, 53, 52, what's your plan? What you gonna do? You gonna hold that long, or you gonna shave and then re-enter? Everybody should be thinking worst case scenario. If you don't, then that's not really planning. If you're thinking about your best case scenario and you're planning for best case scenario, is that really planning? I don't think it is. Y'all better be thinking about worst case scenario. How many of y'all remember, hey, guys, we're gonna short big here. We're gonna short big here, guys. We're gonna short big here. Yeah. I got one Bitcoin filled so far. Fuck. Oh, hell no. We got one Bitcoin filled. Y'all remember that? Woo! Shit! Are we getting better or are we getting worse? Because we at least got one Bitcoin filled right there. We didn't get any at 70,200 this time. Fuck! But yeah, how many of y'all remember that, man? How many of y'all remember that, man? Y'all been rocking and rolling with me for quite some time, man. Yeah, some good shit. That was notoriously hella goofy. Yeah, missed a big ass short right there. Y'all remember that? And then it did this. And I said, what the? I said, Kachoi Shiba. I got 1 Bitcoin though. That was hella goofy. We were hella excited. We got 1 Bitcoin filled. I thought I was gonna get like all 75, all 100. 1 Bitcoin, bitch. I might as well have been in spot. Yeah, like all of this together, lions together, lions together, lions together, lions together. And here we are, y'all. Some of y'all joined me here. Some of y'all joined the stream here. Some of y'all joined the family 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 here. Some of y'all joined us 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 here. Yeah, because this is when I started streaming right here. So this was like the first like sort of big blunder. We were like, all right, then we're gonna short big here. We got 1 filled and then just did it. We were like, fuck. But this is when I started streaming, y'all. Crazy, right? This candle right here was the birth of Kimba Gang. Neo says, what made you start streaming? I mean, I was already looking at the charts. I just wanted to hang out with other people. Have you guys ever, like, how many of you guys like play video games on PlayStation or Xbox? It's easier for me to get into longs. I got into longs here, I got into longs here. But for me, and if you've been watching me, the longs are easy for me. Okay? But I need to make sure that if we're gonna get back in, that's awesome. My spot bag will juice is gonna juice heavier than any leverage position that I could get into. But I need to make sure that if this deviated a whole shit ton. So if it's gonna just fail to get back in and come right back down, I need to protect my spot bags. You just said. And I need to make sure that I need to be a little bit more better with the short. The longs are easy for me. So if it wants to reclaim value area low, and if it starts to show me strength and there's actual buying going on, and that's gonna turn in and we're gonna rotate to value area high, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna be able to get in on that. That's not gonna be a problem for me. You know, I don't know how long you've been watching me, brother, but the long, it's not that hard for me. I'm not too worried about this. I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to catch the long on the value area low bullish retest. Or even if it starts to go, I'll be able to see it. Okay? So my situation might be a little bit different than yours, but I just need to make sure that it's not going to bearish retest this bitch, fail, and then make sense? So you got to kind of do your own thing and make sure that that's why you want to kind of have a higher time frame plan, medium time frame plan. And we already talked about this too, but this is not that great. So we talked about this in the beginning of the week, but the open interest from the time we nuked to the bottom, okay? When we formed that local low, look at the open interest. There's no new positions. Okay, so we've already seen this before. You tell me. What happened the last, I don't know, 3-4 times that this happened? Easy. Lions, how we doing? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. CME comes back in 5 minutes. Robinacci says, so in this situation, for a possible short structure-wise, would be treating the value area levels as resistant to potential failed auction for a short. Yes, you would want to fail to breach outside. So if this is value area high, fail. Or swing. But tomorrow is options expirations, Robinacci. It's all up to this guy. Look at the like 4 hour. Oops, that's the wrong song. Dun, 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 dun. Remember how we said, like, if this is going to pump, this is going to pump harder. If this was going to dump, then this was going to dump harder. So dump, this dumps harder. When this pumps harder. So it'll be up to S&P. Like we've been talking about, I really wouldn't get too worried about, you know how we always talk about like setting protocols and stuff? I don't really get too caught up in trying to juice up or get into a big position on a Friday anyways. You guys know that. Because it's rare that I don't get stopped out over the weekend. Or when Monday market's open and it wants to sweep Friday or weekend highs or lows or something. So structurally, I think it's worth taking it. But you are going to be front running S&P just a little bit. So just make sure that you're aware of where the gaps are, what got grabbed, what didn't. Yeah, and we'll see if this narrative can continue. Berbezi, seeing the previous day point of control value area high so close together and the CME gap there with a single print, what would you want to see to long it? Bounce from there. That could be an amazing bullish retest long at 60,000. You can even see it too. Hard to get. So you would probably see some sort of deviation, maybe like all the way down to 59.5. So we'll see what happens. It's really hard for me to buy that low is the low. I don't know if I'm just being a stubborn motherfucker or what, but it's really hard for me to buy that was the low. I don't, and it's like, fuck, bro, we're already like at 61. Oh man. Not juicing. Yeah, it's really hard for me. And the S&P low is ass too. It's the S&P low and the Bitcoin low. Really hard for me to believe that that's the low, but that's okay. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because today I got stopped out on all my shorts when it started breaching the CME gap. And I'm almost like in the same exact short at like 62.4. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. But yeah, 60,000 would be an interesting long. It might be a juicy ass long. You know, you guys see it, right? That's the previous day value area high. lining up with previous day point of control. So that means that they spent a lot of time there, a lot of money there too. So that could be very, very quick little support, monthly point of control, and previous month value area low at 59.5. So bullishly backtesting that could be a really nice long, 100%. And to be honest, if I want this short to work, I need that bitch to be resistance. So, yeah, 59.5. And here's the thing too, that's your previous month value area low. So Fibonacci, it would be something like this. Okay, so you spend time. Huh, this is what you did. Okay? Huh. This is what you're doing right now. Okay? So you have a choo, or in this case, a let go. Fuck. So that means that 59.5 right there is higher time frame this previous month. Okay, but you also have the previous day point of control and the previous day value high right above it. So yeah, this would not surprise me one bit. Something like that. Watch for something like that maybe around that zone. But here we are. Here you go. That's your value. So multi-month value area high, value area low. So if it wants to turn it into support, let's do it. And kind of talked about how that would be the actual easy kind of long. If it does anything like, oh fuck, because here's the thing. Even if, let's say for example, you're hella bearish, you're going to probably take something like this, I would assume, if it gives it to you. But if you're also bullish, you have that kind of play set up too. And if you are bullish, then if you start to spend time below value area high, or value area low, probably not that, and I wouldn't be mad at a 52 or a 53 long either. So those are just kind of like the levels to look at. Don't put blind limits in.
Not enough Latouche.
Don't put blind limits in on anything. So yeah, that first pullback, that penetration, but reclaim, because you guys have all seen a failed auction into a failed auction, remember? How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? WTF? Yeah, who knows what the fuck I'm talking about right here? I know y'all know what I'm talking about. So a couple of things to play overnight if you wish to. Maybe with the Asian markets, you can get into a little thangity thang. But yeah, that's about it. Obviously, I can't really chase a long here. So if I was going to look for a scalp, I got to look for at least the previous day value area high, point of control. By the way, when it does overlap, it provides strength. So something like a quick little breach, value area high, pixel fuck. Maybe it doesn't even breach monthly point of control, previous day point of control. Alrighty, and then whenever a high is made or a low is made, you should try to look to see if there is a good low or a good high. Is there a reason to go back and visit it again, yes or no? Alrighty, and these are all Binance limit orders. these tend to pull price towards it, FYI. These are thousands and hundreds of limit orders in the Binance order book to short. So if you've never seen these before, one, it happens thousands of times. Two, you can talk to the OGs in the Discord, okay? You don't have to like just try to flip a coin and see what happens. It's called Binancio Crayola. Magneto would be 1,000 Bitcoin or more. These are all less than 1,000, so somewhere between 500 and 700. Okay? The higher probability is it will pull the price and it'll spoof. All right. Nice Melon says, what is this testnet meme? There's some people that think that, and it's whether me or another streamer, they think that it is fake money. They call it testnet. Every exchange has a thing called like paper trading, demo trading, testnet. It's a test network. Yeah. So we call it, yes, it's testnet because my testicles are so big. I need a net, call it testnet. Yeah. But I wouldn't get too caught up in it. It's just an inside joke. It's really not that big of a deal. We're not here to, I'm not here to like try and convince y'all that I'm better than you or you should listen to me or anything like that. So I think sometimes, especially people that don't really watch, you know, sometimes their insecurity can get triggered, and that's the last thing that we're trying to do here. So, but yeah, it's just an inside joke. Let's see here. Or Biola means fake. No. Binancio, because this is in Binance. And then we call it Magneto. Have you ever seen X-Men? Magneto, the guy that pulls metal. He can manipulate metal. So exclamation Binancio. Binancio Magneto. See that guy? You know who Magneto is? He pulls the price. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. This is trading light, exclamation trading light. It's good to be able to just see visually that, oh shit, there's a shit ton of short limit orders, right? So this happens thousands of times. Sometimes it fills all of them. Sometimes it's partial. Sometimes it only wants the bigger one. The brighter the color, the bigger it is. So this one, for example, is 722 compared to this. This is 513 limit order shorts. Tommy says, do we know if those are cross or isolated licks, Tommy? Half of me wants to be like, that's a good question. Half of me wants to be like, what the fuck, Tommy? No, you cannot tell what kind of leverage the individual is using. This is literally from the order book. If we went to Binance.com and logged in and went to the margin futures trading and we went to the order book, we would see it. That's all it is. Can you tell when you look on the MEXC order book or the Bybit order book when it says 5 Bitcoin? Can you tell if it's isolated or cross? Can you tell if it's 5x or 20x? So I like where your head is at. You know what makes me feel like it's a good question? You're looking for every fucking edge. You're trying to see what kind of data you can squeeze out of it. And I dig that. I like that. That's a good question. But also, I don't want you to get too carried away and think that we can get every single data point that we can get. All right. And what I mean by that is when you look at things like KingFisher, okay, and it tells you, hey, man, there's a lot of liquidations that would happen if we went to the downside. At the end of the day, this is algorithmically predicted. Same thing with HyblockCapital. This is not pure data that says, hey, this guy's order is going to get liquidated at 59,380. This is a guess. You know what I mean? So you never want to truly 100% take everything at face value. All right, Tommy, But I like where your head's at. I like that you're trying to extract anything and everything. But makes sense though, right, Tommy? So it's the same exact thing as if you were looking at the order book on Binance or Bybit. And by the way, Bookmap on the thing on the left, right? That combines Binance and Bybit. It's aggregated. Whereas with Trading Light, you can only see one exchange and one pair at a time. Yeah, but also, hey, if you're really going to be affiliate, see if you can catch a couple limit orders around 60,000 to 59.5 if we do go down there. So, because I'm not afraid to long that if it looks good. All right, but it's gotta show strength because that's gonna be the value area low. So it'd be easier to lose it, you know. And we talked about it a little bit a while ago, but you don't have to be the first wick in. Watch for the trident too. The people that first try to long it, everybody's going to try to long that shit. So don't try to get the first one. Trident. Let's see what happens, y'all. You guys are the best. All right, I'm out of here. I'm putting on the Sato sleeping thing because I don't think I'm going to be coming back tonight. That way I can... see you guys early tomorrow. I'm thinking like 7, something like that. All right, and I'm gonna be rooting for you. I don't give a shit if you miss it. I don't care if you take it and get round tripped. But it's not like you're gonna get wrecked, right? You're not gonna get wrecked. All right, you guys have audio control as well. Have a great night, y'all. Thank you.